I opened the door, and my world shattered. My husband and my mother were on the bed, breathless, sweaty, and smiling until they saw me. The air in the room thickened instantly. My knees trembled. My heartbeat raced like a drum in a funeral procession. My mother's face turned pale, while my husband muttered my name like it would fix the unspeakable scene before me. I felt my soul leave my body, watching the two people I trusted most exchange guilty glances. The smell of betrayal clung to my skin. I wanted to demand answers, to rage, to cry, but no words could pass my lips. In that silence, my mind raced back to how it all began, how I met this man who became my husband, and how the cracks in our perfect life slowly formed. I never knew that the smile I saw that day at the university cafeteria would lead me to a marriage and a betrayal. It was my second year in university when I met Emeka, tall, charming, and with the kind of deep laugh that made the air warmer. He was the friend everyone loved, but the lover only I could have. We shared late-night study sessions, cheap noodles, and whispered dreams of a future together. By the end of my final year, we were inseparable. Emeka proposed under the mango tree in front of my hostel, the same spot where we had shared our first kiss. I said yes without hesitation. I thought I had found the man who would love me forever, but forever had an ugly twist I never saw coming. When I introduced Emeka to my mother, she smiled, but her eyes held something else. Mama had always been protective, almost to a fault. She asked Emeka endless questions the first time they met, from his family background to his plans for the next 10 years. I thought it was motherly concern, nothing more. She hugged him tightly before we left that day, maybe too tightly. Over the years, they got along well, too well. Mama often teased him in ways that made me roll my eyes but laugh it off. I had no idea that the lines between mother and son-in-law are slowly blurring, inch by inch. If someone had told me that the woman holding my veil would one day rip my marriage apart, I would have laughed. Our wedding was a grand celebration, music, dancing, and enough jollof rice to feed an army. Mama stood beside me the whole time, adjusting my gown, smiling for the cameras, and whispering prayers in my ear. When Emeka and I kissed as husband and wife, I saw Mama clap with tears in her eyes. I thought it was joy. Maybe it was, or maybe it was the thrill of knowing she was tied to us both now, in more ways than I could imagine. When I invited Mama for Omugwo, I expected help with my baby, not the destruction of my marriage. After the birth of our daughter, Mama came to stay. She cooked, cleaned, and cared for the baby while I recovered. At first, everything felt perfect. I trusted her completely, never questioning the long chats she had with Emeka when I was asleep. Sometimes, I'd walk into the kitchen and find them laughing over a private joke. I brushed it off, thinking Mama was just being friendly. Little did I know, something dangerous was already brewing under my own roof. It was the way he looked at her, not like a mother-in-law, but like a woman. One night, I woke up to find Emeka missing from the bed. I found him in the sitting room, whispering to Mama. They stopped talking the moment they saw me, pretending nothing was wrong. I told myself I was imagining things, that postpartum stress was making me paranoid. But my instincts wouldn't stop screaming that something was wrong. I just didn't have the proof. Yet, the night I came home early will forever be burned into my memory. I had gone to the pharmacy to get baby supplies. When I returned, I noticed the house was unusually quiet. No baby crying, no TV noise, no footsteps, just silence. I walked to my bedroom, and that's when I saw it. Mama's head resting on Emeka's bare chest, their bodies tangled in the sheets. My legs gave way, my vision blurred, and my heart screamed louder than my voice ever could. I finally found my voice, and it was filled with fire. "Mama!" I screamed, my voice cracking. Emeka jumped from the bed, scrambling for his clothes. Mama sat still, her face unreadable. "How could you? Both of you?" They tried to explain, but their words sounded like poison. Mama claimed she was lonely. Emeka said it was a mistake, but I knew this wasn't the first time. You don't end up in bed together by accident. My home turned into a war zone, and I was ready to burn it all down. I kicked them both out that night. Mama cried, Emeka begged, but my heart was numb. The betrayal was too deep to forgive. My baby cried in my arms, sensing my pain. Rumors spread through the neighborhood. Friends stopped calling. Family members took sides. I was alone, but I would rather be alone than live in a house filled with lies. They thought they broke me, but I was just getting started. I moved to a new apartment with my baby, started a small business, focused on healing and raising my daughter. With love, I learned that betrayal doesn't define you, your strength does. Mama and Emeka tried to reach out months later. I never answered. Some wounds don't heal, and some people don't deserve a second chance. My story wasn't over, it was just beginning, to be continued. What would you do if you caught your own mother with your husband? Will you just stay away or forgive and forget? Betrayal can break you, but forgiveness sets you free. And from that freedom, I will build a new life. Trust is sacred. Guard it, and never ignore the signs. Blood may be thick, but loyalty is thicker. Never ignore the little signs. They often point to the biggest betrayals. Like, comment, and subscribe for more dramatic true life stories.